our next story, and it's
yes.
a very interesting story.
I have been
And
waiting for this.
It's talking about Apostolic Church of Ghana banning kiss the bride at weddings. So the Apostolic Church Ghana has officially banned the practice of couples kissing during wedding ceremonies. The directive was approved by the Council of Apostles and Prophets during its sixth General Council meeting in Accra. And also church leaders say the move is aimed at preserving cultural and spiritual values, describing the practice as inappropriate within the Ghanaian Christian context. And also the church has cautioned against provocative pre-wedding photo shoots, urging members to uphold modesty and the sanctity of marriage. I see you have so much interest in the story, so I just want to before I know a lot of churches do not do the kiss your bride. My church, we don't do it. I mean, I have grown to know that my church doesn't do it, but as to why they don't do it, I can't tell exactly. But then again, I see videos, on social media. Some of them, I would say, are disgusting. I won't lie. Because if they say the kiss your bride or something like that, you realize that it's just not nice. But some of them are actually also very
some are really
polite.
Cool. It actually wants you, it makes you feel like you want to be married.
But I mean, for whatever reason, I feel like, and I see in the story, I mean, in our discussions, I see conversations coming up as this was taken from the Western culture, and then we have inculcated it into our culture. But then again, how do we learn when it comes to culture? Difference from the Western culture and then our culture. How do we put in or influence our culture with some of these things? Mind you, I watched a movie over the weekend, and then in the movie, we are not deviating, it's still part of all these things. In the movie, I think the guy was proposing to the lady, and then the lady said, if you don't go down on your knee, I will not take the ring. And mind you, she didn't take the ring.
Okay.
And then now I asked myself, I think the lady's friend was telling her that, ask your mother that if when your mother was being proposed to, did the husband go down? Yes. So sometimes I ask myself, where does our culture even come in? Because we copy so much and a lot to the extent that we forget our position when it comes to our culture. I mean, I want to take your thoughts on the story. What do you think about kissing the bride during wedding?
Okay. So first of all, the wedding idea itself is not.
It's Western.
It's a Western culture, locally.
But I think it's been there a long time ago, because I can see some grown parents who were married some years back, and then I see their wedding pictures.
Wedding 50 years ago, and they still.
Exactly.
So it just tells you how much we have copied for so long.
Wow.
Okay. Culturally, in the African setting, it's the traditional marriage. Specifically in Ghana. A family comes to the bride, the groom's family goes to the bride's family. They offer drinks, do whatever. Then there's a customary marriage, and then that's about it. Okay. Even back then, people are betrothed to each other, and then they go up and then they get married to each other. That's what happened. But we have decided to bring these things into our settings. And more so into our churches as part of the religion. So why are we complaining now about the kissing? Because we went to bring it. We had our cultural things happening. So why did we go to bring the wedding? Because it feels like marrying for the second time or having another occasion.
Even if we want to trace it, we can't tell when exactly the kissing. But then again, I know some churches do not do it. So I'm not trying to cite that it should be banned, but I think the reasons some of the reasons backing it. People are talking about social media, and for one thing, I actually agree. I think it talks about the fact that you find provocative pictures and videos on social media, and currently, social media is being used by a large number of, individuals, or let me say youth. Exactly. So in a way, I don't know, but in the middle.
I am not in the middle. My challenge is, you see, when we are copying things, we need to copy and copy them well.
Blindly.
We copy blindly. That's our problem.
We just pick everything.
Who asked us to go bring weddings into our culture? And in the weddings, this is what happened. That's that culture. They, you know, the
brides, do they really kiss the bride?
They do.
They
do those things in during their weddings. So if you know, even in the Western culture, a man and a woman can meet and their parents don't know and they still go and get married. You know.
Oh yeah.
But in our context, in Africa or in Ghana, the marriage is not even recognized when the parents
are not available.
Okay, but these are the things. So if we have gone to copy blindly, we have rushed the weddings into our setting, and we see that after you have done customary marriage, still go to the church for a wedding. And we have made the situation in such a way that, I mean, now a church must be gazetted for the wedding to be recognized by ordinance.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If your church is not gazetted, even a marriage certificate cannot be signed. So where you sign a marriage certificate is like, this is how crazy. So it even goes beyond the kissing thing. So for me, it's not really about the kissing. Who asked us to bring wedding
in the first
into
place?
our culture?
And you realize that even now, comparing the wedding to the traditional marriage, the wedding actually has so much
prominence over the traditional one.
Over the traditional marriage.
It is crazy. And so people
now we are leaving our tradition and what we stand for, and we are adopting and making it like our culture.
Now people do the cultural things in, like, let's say in Ghana, then they will travel other destinations to have multiple weddings. That's how crazy the wedding thing has become. So for me, it's not too much about the kissing. But if we are copying, why are we copying in the first place? We have copied blindly. So when we are trying to reverse the order, how are we supposed to be reversing it? It becomes difficult. Okay.
And I don't think, I mean, all churches, I know some churches actually do it. I mean,
many churches have had this thing in place before the Apostolic Church is now coming up. Many churches, I've attended many weddings where the couples do not kiss, you know. I've attended, and I did inquire, and it is because it is the norm, so they are aware. So it's not, so usually the instruction that comes in those weddings is, they don't say kiss the bride. The pastor or officiating minister will say, you may embrace your bride. That's what they say. So usually they just unveil, they will hug, probably a peck on the cheek, that ends it. Okay, but beyond that, we need to define what we want as a people. So if we want to copy things, we don't have to copy and then copy blindly. We copy
too much. Even more than what the others
exactly.
We just overstep.
And it is the reason the church is running, because they've talked about pre-shoots for whatever. Shoots. I don't even know when that thing started in Ghana. Suddenly,
exactly.
And it's like, now if you're going to get married and you don't have pre-wedding photo shoots,
like,
your wedding is not a wedding. Like, really, what is this? Exactly, it's not a statement. And we have come up with all sort of, now when we are going to get married, people come up with a hashtag for the wedding. Okay.
I mean, they use
whatever 2026.
Like,
and it's funny how even people come on social media and come and ask, I'm getting married in 2 months. My name is this. Her name is that. Suggest a hashtag for us. Wow. Like, so that's where we have gotten to.
So they use, both names. They just coin something and then. But then I want to ask you, what do you think of parents being present and this kissing thing going on? Because I think it's been a conversation where people are like, it's disrespectful.
There's nothing disrespectful about that.
I mean, these are people who are,
in my opinion,
married and are going to...
In my opinion, the parents are married. They know what
it entails or what is coming with.
It is not disrespectful. For me, it is not disrespectful.
Okay.
I mean, I have come to pay bride price. You have accepted the bride price. So in the first place, customarily, I'm already married to your daughter.
That's true.
So if I kiss her in the room, or I kiss her in your presence, most importantly in the church, where I know I can't do any crazy kind of thing. I think you should understand that. So for me, I don't see anything disrespectful about it. I mean, it becomes disgusting when people go overboard. We were talking before the program. You practically find somebody licking somebody's face.
Exactly. And it's so disgusting.
And for some funny reason, I've had cases where people want to say they are setting a record. So you may embrace and kiss your bride, and then they want to be kissing for like 3 minutes.
Wow.
When your
For
guests are
what
seated and
reason?
waiting for you,
Exactly.
get a room. Close the wedding and get a room. Then you can do such a record for yourself. We don't need the evidence of that record for anything.
Yeah,
I mean, so
true.
people have to be reasonable about it. But for whatever reason, the church is banning it. I'm sure it's because of what they have seen to keep the sanctity of marriage and then,
And the tradition
as well. Yes, these are key. These are not things that are oriented to Africa or Ghana per se. So we need to define our culture properly and keep to it. So if this is what will bring that sanctity to the church, to the marriage, so be it. But it is because we went to copy wrongly. We need to be sure, we need to highlight that fact. So next time when we want to copy, we need to think about it properly.
Now let's talk about the influence of social media on marriage expectations.
It's pressure.
There's so much pressure, right?
It's pressure.
From proposal down to the photo shoot. We don't even, as it's true now, the photo shoot has become like a statement, if I should put it that way. Then to the photo shoot, now to the marriage, the traditional marriage, then to the wedding itself, which we have so much borrowed and overdoing now. And then we come to, I mean, some people having their own expectations from things they see on social media. Even people have, some people have a way they want their ceremonies to look, because they have seen ceremonies trending, they have seen somebody do a particular decoration, or they have seen somebody wear a particular outfit from a particular design. Exactly. True. So now let's talk about how social media is influencing our marriage system. Do you think it's doing more harm than good, or it's just inspiring people?
Look, I think that it is doing both. It is the person involved who has to decide if it's going to affect me negatively or inspire me. It depends on you. Because I have heard stories where friendships, especially with the women, have been broken because the bride wants 12 bridesmaids.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's the bridesmaid
they want 12
issue.
Bridesmaids. And in the wedding, the setup is such that you must change your outfit three times. And you are asking your friends who are going to be bridesmaids to take care of these things. And those who think they cannot afford genuinely say they can't afford. And then their bride is not happy. And so friendships are broken. What is the problem? Like, what is the influence of the bride, the bridesmaid on the marriage? I don't know why the focus is on the wedding and the ceremony, which is at most, last year 24 hours, because then you have the customary one maybe happening on, let's say, a Friday. Then you have a wedding happening on a Saturday. So at most,
Sunday there's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, no problem. At most 3 days. When is it? Why you leave the chapel on Sunday after Thanksgiving? It is you and your spouse until forever.
Now reality begins.
Reality sets in. So it's then, what is all this issue?
It's
like
really
what's going on?
Because I look at some weddings, and then they just have one.
That's all.
One person.
Some don't even have.
And even when they have a number, you could see that. I mean, you do not see any flashy, them doing anything
Very
flashy or
stuff.
looking. I mean, and even talk less of even changing during the ceremony, where bridesmaids are supposed to change like 3 times. And you find brides also wanting to wear designs from particular people. I mean, there's so much going on social media, and I think that sometimes when you don't take critical look at, if you don't take critical look at some of these things and maybe still stand by your values and things you believe in, I'm very sure people will go overboard. Try and then get money from from whatever means that they know they can get, and then get on this flashy
this conversation about weddings. It can go on and on and on and on. But I think that if
photo shoots are not bad.
They are not bad.
Very decent ones. I mean, you just want to have a memory of yourself with your partner before your whole journey begins. I don't think it's about. But
people are beginning to make a fuss of this, which is
overdoing it.
It's overbearing now.
Just like I told you, if the man doesn't go down, the lady's not taking the ring. Who brought that?
How does that affect?
I don't even think our parents even somebody who married like 50, 70 years ago.
So that's the example I made. So people are betrothed to each other from the time they are young.
Exactly.
So they have known from their childhood that they're going to get married. So at what point is the man supposed to be getting down on his knees to give a ring? There's a certain day you wake up and then your father tells you, Kwesi, let's go. And then to where? You are following him to your wife to his house. And you are not even aware that there are drinks in the package. You get there and then your father introduces you, I've brought him. This is the drink. And then the next minute,
that's your life.
The wife is told, okay, you are married now, follow him. You understand? And so where are we coming from with this thing where somebody has to go on the knee? Look, I get that it is respectful. It's in a certain context. It is romantic. I mean, people have whatever the sentiments attached to it. But is that what makes the relationship or the marriage? It's crazy. I mean.
Okay.